Hey, hello! I'm doing Mario Party for my birthday, which is tomorrow from the recording date. It's actually November 17th, but whatever. So I have Dak and Joe with me again if you want to say hi.
Hello! Happy birthday,
Hi, everybody.
Arigatou
Yeah,
gozaimashita.
happy early birthday.
And we also have Ryfam joining us from the chat very kindly as our fourth. So let's get going. The only Kurosawa you know is
All right.
Hidden Fortress because that's what Star Wars is ripped from. Is it?
Yeah.
Have you seen it? Oh.
Yeah, the the characters R2D2 and C3PO are definitely based on characters from the Hidden Fortress. And plot. Some of the plot details from the Phantom Menace were actually from the Hidden Fortress as well.
Joe is like the
one
movie
I'm
guy,
really familiar.
so...
Yeah, the only one I'm really familiar with is Rashomon, just because that sort of created the, same events through different people's viewpoints and how they vary format.
That's not how I remember it. I'm sorry, that was a terrible joke.
It's a Simpsons joke, and you know it. I'm actually going to be Peach again.
Yeah, I will be Bordy.
Bordy? Oh yeah, it's girls' night.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Immediately kill every Star Wars debate by saying your favorite is Hidden Fortress. I mean, obviously it's gotta be Peach's birthday cake, right?
No, my favorite Star Wars movie is The Wrath of Khan.
Trying to start some stuff.
Anger some people.
Probably not here. I think folks here are pretty mellow.
Well, not here, but yeah, my favorite Star Wars is the one where they go to present-day San Francisco and they have to save the whales.
I've seen a bit of that one. Not a lot, but just a little, and it made me laugh. I like Spock trying to swear.
I've seen it on TV, so I don't know how much of that made it through. Or if it was only just PG swearing to begin with.
Actually, yeah, it was like, he said, like, they're not the hell your whales, or something like that. I actually watched the first 6 Star Trek movies this year for the first time.
Kelly, thank you!
Oh, thank you, Kelly.
I hope you're all paying attention to what Koopa's saying. I like Daisy's little dance.
I was not. I'm sorry, Koopa.
We have to fight to the death on this cake, and the loser's blood will provide the raspberry icing. What do you mean, F you, Koopa? Wow.
Thank you for the sub, though. Goodness. I need to keep this... How do I keep my phone from going to sleep so I can keep the chat on
You might have to go into your phone settings and turn off sleep mode. I'm going to say yes, just so, because we have people who've never played Mario Party watching. Alright, so here's how this board works. Do you see Best Boy in the corner? I mean Bowser, not Donkey Kong's ass. The board looks mighty tasty, but what's up with those pairs of green-colored spaces?
You have to do it in a Toad voice.
Sorry.
No, please, I'm kidding.
This road takes you past the pudding. Better watch for Bowser in the red spaces. Toad coughs up a hairball and suddenly he has a very deep voice. Look closely and you might catch a glimpse of a Goomba near the pudding. That Goomba decides which path you'll take, so drop by and say hello. First, we'll decide the turnover. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Turn order, not turnover. We're not being fired. One hopes. What is the best Star Wars movie, Andorra?
Daisy. Daisy's really contemplating that one.
She's just fascinated by it. You know, it's like a lava lamp. Yes, the folks in chat might have noticed I added a new emote, so we have Smug Morri now. I might make some adjustments if the expression's too hard to read at that size. Like, I could cut out the scarf. I wasn't sure if the scarf was integral. All you really need is the glasses, I suppose.
Oh, that's a delay.
How'd you get that thinking, Morri, Dawn?
I think you can use channel points to modify an emote, because I haven't made proper channel points for Wars, because I don't know what to do with them. Dang, look at the texture on that frosting. I want to just stick my hand in it and eat a scoop and then regret it immensely.
Look at the powdered sugar on ladyfingers. This cake just looks so good.
I wonder how long it took to render this cake. Mwah.
Yeah. Someone mentioned the strawberry wafer right here. I agree. That looks really delicious. I think it was Kelly who said that.
Oh, the first Star Trek movie, since that's the only one that's really super Star Trek-y. Oh, did I say... Sorry, I said Star Wars, didn't I? Star Trek, you'd say First Contact. Oops, I said the wrong thing. No, I'm gonna have nerds after my blood.
No, it's okay.
Is it?
I actually like the first Star Trek. I know a lot of people don't because they think it's really slow. Because a lot of it was just showing off the budget. Like, a lot of it was all visual. And there's like near the beginning, there's like a 5-minute long sequence where it's just the Enterprise, like, docking, like, pulling into a dock or whatever. And
goodness.
I like it, though. I call it space ballet.
That's a nice way of phrasing it.
Just,
that's like a film critic way of phrasing it.
Yeah, it's just very, like, all visual and musical, and well, not musical, based on the soundtrack. They're not singing.
No, I want to see Spock sing. Leonard Nimoy was a good singer. I was at the Calgary Comic Expo one year when he was a guest of honor there, and I wasn't in the room with him because, like, you couldn't get in. It was impossible. But they had in the main hall big projector showing him and his panel, and he sang a bit of oh my gosh, Fiddler on the Roof. He sang a bit of that. I was gonna say Fiddler on a Hot Tin Roof, but that's two different movies. Anyway, we have to arrest Berto for her crimes. Kelly.
Yeah, everything I've heard about Leonard Nimoy is that he was just a really nice guy, just a really sweet person.
The stream delay while playing is great. Are you watching this in the background? Who's Rosie? Is that you, Dak? That's you, Dak.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were... I forgot it was practice for a quick second.
That's okay.
It just got very intense on making the Venn diagram of justice.
Justice.
No.
It must be hard to hold your breath through that big snoot. Ah.
Oh, man.
That's a hard one for the one player to win.
Yeah, it's long. Like, it's like 30 seconds, and that doesn't sound like long, but when you're, like, struggling against 3 circles, it is pretty long.
What would Berto wearing a snorkel look like? Like, it'd be a really big tube? Oh, you gotta enjoy the verbal commentary. Yoshi evades taxes while Berto launders money. Perfect couple.
Like they were made for each other.
Big snoot solidarity.
I'm liking all these variations on the Morri emote.
Me too. I'm glad you're all enjoying Smug Morri. It felt a little...
very creative people.
The black and white one for like that noir smugness.
The bowl sound Berto makes when shooting eggs. I know what sound you're talking about, but I don't know if I can mimic it with my mouth.
It's Timeless River Morri. The black and white. Or whatever. I think.
No, I know what you mean from Kingdom Hearts 2. Yeah.
The Steamboat Willie world.
Yeah. No, it's Timeless River, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
That was a cute world. I don't remember a lot of Kingdom Hearts 2, but I think that was one of the highlights for me. I like animation and the history of such.
Yeah, me too.
Do we think Berto is really a bird? Didn't they... I know you said according to the end credits of Super Mario Bros. 2, Berto is a birdo, but yeah, bird. Because they called Berto Ostro in the end credits for Mario 2. I remember that. They swapped them. Yeah, they swapped it.
They swapped the names.
They swappin'. Something we haven't done yet. Oh, is this the seedy dark alley where we buy drugs from a chain shop? Yes, it is.
I mean... And this is like once you...
I gotta
you
remember.
only turn it on once. It's a one button press game, right?
Yes,
Okay.
it is. Just say no. I mean, it's a dog selling it to you. You can't. You're gonna make that dog go hungry.
Dang it.
Wow.
Gosh.
Oh, Morri.
Okay, something that bugs me about this one, though. This is Boo's thing. Stopping when you look at it, especially with like a flashlight, is a ghost thing, especially in Mario.
Mm-hmm.
Why'd they put the dog on that beat?
Why do you
You're making a
think,
good
Dak?
point, but
You know all dogs go to heaven.
Well, I guess the chain chomp is more. The chain chomp is more overtly scary, I guess.
I suppose.
She's a creep. She's a birdo. What the hell is she doing here? I don't really remember how Creep goes because I like Radiohead, but I've only heard that song a couple times. Probably more on the radio, but I just never paid attention. You can never come back.
You're more likely to hear it on the radio than at a Radiohead concert. So.
Oh no. Yeah, I've heard. Was it Tom York,
Chomp.
the frontman of Radiohead? I heard he doesn't like it very much.
Yeah. Well, it's from what I've heard, it's not one of those fictional songs. He was kind of, I don't want to say stalking, but he is aware that it was not like written about good behavior. He's not proud of it.
It's nice that he's moved past that. Actually, one of their songs that I like that I know they don't is Fitter Happier. The text-to-speech robot, it just sounds so desolate. It's on my Apocalypse playlist.
I admit I don't know anything about
would
Radiohead.
do well.
No, I like Radiohead, but I find I can't listen for their songs too long because I just get really depressed after a while. There's just something about them. Like, even their more innocuous ones, they're just I don't know, bums me out after a while. Yeah, Paranoid Android is cool too, although I like the beginning of the song more than the rest of it. I like, what's another good one?
The way they all tumble down is funny.
It's cute, isn't it? Sonic compression. Oh no, I'm stuck! Wedged between boxes. Oh, taken out by the Birdo box.
Yeah, that's no fun.
Oh, I can't squeeze through there. Come on, Peach. Lift up your dress a little bit.
Oh, jeez. The Birdo box sounds like some kind of punishment. Like, you're going to the Birdo box.
I don't know if any of you have read 1984, but let's say the punishment from Room 101, but instead of rats, it's Birdo. Oh, thank you, Anon. Oh, hi, Joanna. Welcome. It's so nice to have people here to celebrate my early birthday. You've tried listening to a bit of Radiohead and you've just never found anything that you can deal with. Yeah, it's fair. Oh, 1984, you mean 2021?
Incredibly accessible music.
There's this, I don't know, like spacey... Oh, okay. Spacey quality to it that I enjoy. Do I want to put down a big one now when nobody has any stars? Because I think if somebody lands on it... No, it's not going to waste it, right? Somebody lands on it with no star. Let's find out. Big boy. One of your classmates this week made a reference to, I quote, the movie 1984, and he sighed. Man, maybe they didn't know it was a book.
Yeah, I once heard a reference to the movie The Great Gatsby, which...
Ooh. I mean, I get it. I mean, we don't know every movie's a book, but some books are more infamously books than others. Like, I wouldn't feel too heartbroken about, like, people not knowing Arrival wasn't a book first. But,
I didn't know that.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, I've actually read the short story that Arrival was based on, but I haven't seen the movie.
Movie's great. I'm a big fan of the movie.
Okay, here we find out if I've wasted my big boy. Okay. Daisy is not interested. And interesting.
Daisy breathing a sigh of relief.
Very good research about these strawberries.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I should watch Arrival.
Here is the birthday surprise for me.
Uh-oh. Yeah, Arrival is directed by Denis Villeneuve. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm sorry if I'm not, but who currently directed Dune, which is the new one that's currently out.
Yeah, what else?
And Blade Runner 2049. Yeah.
Which, I have weird feelings about that film because I liked it very, very much, but my brain never accepted it as canon. It was like I got to watch an incredibly high-budget fanfic.
Uh-oh.
I mean, is that not the dream of being a famous director and getting to make your own big-budget fanfic? Hi, Capotico.
Right? I mean,
welcome.
Hi.
Denis Villeneuve? Villeneuve?
Oh, I've been saying Villeneuve all this time.
It sounds so fancy that way.
Well, he's French, right? Or French-Canadian, one of those. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I don't know.
C'est bon. I mean, I don't know. Why, they really make you sweat it out. 3 pronunciation videos, fair. Oh my gosh. This one contrasts nicely with my outfit.
Oh no.
Alright, Bordeaux.
Enjoy your coin flip of fate.
I'll pick the closest color to Birdo.
Man.
Birdo's pink, that's magenta. I don't. Well, I chose what I know.
Oh no!
Like that disproves my take on color.
No, you failed me for the last time, Green.
Green is not a creative color.
Oh, come on. Dead memes.
Yeah. I like my references to be from like 2013 or whenever that was.
Badger, 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 badger. No.
That's like 2003.
Oh, no, we haven't done Tug of
that.
War. Sorry, I have to play the objectively worst minigame in the game. I don't mind as much when I'm streaming it, so there's an audience to watch us flail and sweat it out. You know what we haven't played, which haunts me, is Facelift. I love Facelift. Where's Facelift?
Oh, yeah. I want to play the pizza one. I haven't come across that one yet.
I like that we get this clear view of, you know, just above Birdo's head. You may touch it once.
Yeah, the fact that everyone is sitting down on cake, these figurines.
The cake on cake, if you will.
Yeah. What did they call it in Better Call Saul? There was a whole extended riff that I'm convinced that Bob Odenkirk half improvised.
I haven't watched it, unfortunately. I've seen all of Breaking Bad, but I...
Lot Cobbler. There we go.
What?
I think I can get to the... I don't need the mushroom now. I just gotta roll good. You don't need mushrooms if you just roll good. I just cracked the game. I'm sorry.
The judging is way stricter. I wonder if it's like Facelift in Mario Party 2 was stricter than the first one. Because the first one, you just had to move pieces to their extremes. But in Mario Party 2, sometimes you had to move it not quite all the way.
Zarthwomp, Birdo's taking it to the next level. She's not even wearing shoes.
Well, that means they're not dirty. You can't walk on the cake with dirty shoes if you're not wearing shoes.
Good point.
Oh, just not everybody's getting 100 points. Okay, that keeps things interesting. Spicier. I like the little piranha plant just grooving back
Probably
there.
why they did it then, just to prevent ties.
I was thinking, where did all my coins go? And I realized I spent 30 of them on a piranha plant. That's a good icon.
Wow, that Birdo face is really something.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Very expressive.
It's very, I don't want to say quite Chuck Jones, but there is something very... I'll accept pushy penguins. You like Better Call Saul more than Breaking Bad? I haven't seen either. Can someone weigh in on this? I'm going to join my brethren.
I've only seen Breaking Bad.
Yep.
What do you think, Dak?
Better Call Saul is like, you get that Breaking Bad quality of script on what is essentially just like, I want to say it a legal drama because there's so many trite ones of those, but it's...
He's a lawyer, right?
There's not a lot of drug dealing. It's pretty, yeah, it's, But also I like the cast a lot. Oh, no. Oh!
Again, off the side.
Oh, gosh.
That's how they get you.
Okay.
Oh no, I feel bad for Dak.
Well, actually, Kelly, my parents are in love with Better Call Saul, but my mother didn't have the stomach for Breaking Bad, so like she hasn't watched that.
Interesting.
They're loving it. So,
is Better Call Saul less rough than Breaking Bad?
On the most part, there is Nacho, whom I love, but he is involved in the criminal underworld side of things, and things do get a little bit rough over there. And then Jonathan Banks' side of things as well. So
Nacho is like a real human man and not a dog, right? It sounds like a dog name.
Yes. It's short for Ignacio. So.
Okay.
Yeah, no dissolving bodies. It's pretty. It's more standard like network TV 8 p.m. type of violence. No.
I mean, can still be pretty harsh these days.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
It's actually just an anthropomorphic Nacho. You can't hide your secrets from me.
Yeah, Breaking Bad's violence got really rough sometimes. Like, there are some scenes in that are just like, ugh.
This is interesting to talk about juxtapose over like the red fondant. As you were saying.
Well, my favorite thing about it is Vince Gilligan apparently has a really weak stomach. Like, I do too, but I've never passed out watching a rough movie. Apparently he has.
Oh no.
And then here he is doing 19 takes on the scene in the season 4 finale. You know, the one.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
it's different when you're the one like where you're behind the scenes and you're seeing how all the special effects are made and you're seeing how all the prosthetics are made. Maybe it's not as bad when you're like when you know everything going on.
Maybe it feels less intense through multiple takes as well, since you hopefully get acclimatized to it.
And I've seen the blooper reels of the show. They seem like they have. They seem like they have a lot of fun. They had a lot of fun on the show, so it seems like the mood was very light, even in the really intense scenes.
Oh, again?
There are scenes of Giancarlo Esposito walking around with the prosthetics on, and all the crew is like very like, oh, so disturbed. And then Bryan Cranston just walks up like, oh yes, like before and after syphilis. Just the two of them just.
My.
Yes.
I remember one of the bloopers where Bryan Cranston.
Not worth it.
Where Bryan Cranston snuck his Emmy into one of the shots. So you could just
rubbing it in.
Yeah.
Can I say I love this patchwork Bowser suit? I think it's very cute. The big button eyes.
Reminds me of like Yoshi's Crafted World or Yoshi's Woolly World.
I haven't played either of those, but I love the aesthetic. I love the Amigurumi Yoshi and all the papercraft backgrounds in Crafted World.
Yeah, I like Crafted World a lot. I remember enjoying it. I can't say I remember a lot of it, but I do remember enjoying it.
How's the difficulty? I know it has a lot of like accessibility features to make things really easy for like little kids, but is like the base difficulty, does it ever get comparable to Yoshi's Island?
No, I don't think so. Granted, it's been a while since I played it, but I do think it's relatively easy from what I remember.
No. Not
And
that I mind, but...
I don't mind that mini game, but oh gosh, I do miss the crane game. Where is crane game? Gosh darn it.
I'd like it if they added more mini games and DLC too.
I hate to say it, I'd pay for it. I'd pay like 10, 15 bucks for like even if it was just like 10, maybe even like 8 mini games, I'd shell out for that. But I want more boards more than anything, I think.
Me too. Oh, hi, Silly. Welcome. Oh, here we go. Time to play the flower lottery. Are you wishing for my success in this lottery? One's a winner, the others aren't. This one has Luigi vibes.
By the way, if you were wondering why I was spamming that nice emote, just look at my coins.
The seeds just like bring out the that Virtue's Last Reward puzzle. It just taps into something.
Oh, you mean the one that's in the biolab?
Yeah. I've told the story of how when I was playing that in like we just had like I was in Japan and me and my friend had like still a little jet lag, had a big day, we were knackered, and I thought I'll play the game that involves, you know, massive cognitive engagement.
Oh yeah.
And my friend just like, you know, looks over and they're like, why do you have a pad of paper and a pen out for a DS Virtue's Last Reward? And she's just like, oh, of course.
You're just role-playing as Sigma, the chief himbo of himbos. Yeah, Toad's flower's been retired. He's not allowed.
It's down to 3. They're expendable. Oh gosh.
Yeah, Toad can't afford the advertising. Here we go. I feel like if I do this, you're gonna see what sticker I'm picking, so it's... Yahoo! Bowser's Big Cake! I can't believe Dak won! I'm so brokenhearted.
Oh, and of course the first 3 spots are all -3 coins.
Look at that
just to really
flan,
rub
though.
in that you didn't really win this lottery.
Exquisite. I mean, you get to see him.
I guess I do.
Bowser's Big Cake, one way to interpret BBC. That's the new BBC now. Oh, interesting.
Morri, the first time we played this, we barely even, like... I think only 2 seeds were picked out of that entire game.
Well, in the original... Oh, my! In the original, even if somebody got a winning seed, the other seeds would remain, so you know you would lose until they ran out, and then you would get a new set of 4. But here it looks like they just replenish as soon as somebody is a big winner! Alright, Blondes versus... Oh, it was Eats a Pizza. We missed it.
Are you going to call Birdo
Oh my god.
here? Oh, I don't...
Oh, I didn't know this one was in there. Okay, let's get in a rhythm, Dak, so... 1, 2. 1, 2. I think we could go a little faster. Maybe let's try right a lead. Okay. We're gonna figure this out. This is a good pace. This is a good pace. Think we can keep it up for the real one?
Yeah, I think that's, gonna set that internal clock. I did not think we'd get this one on a game that's, you know, online.
Yeah, I
don't
didn't
think
even
you're
know
at a
this was in here.
disadvantage. Yeah, me either. Oops. Oh no!
What's with...
Oh,
Okay.
come on, give us a chance.
Oh my gosh, the fireballs already! It's a little too
Crush
much,
them,
didn't you
crush
say?
them. No.
I'm trying to I'm skedaddling as skedaddly as I can. It's...
Oh, the tips of our hair have been ruined. Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah.
just insult that injury as much as
Beautiful.
possible.
Why did we not simply remove the skis and run to the end?
Good job, Rye fam.
Stun locked. Oh, now we're gonna live with the
That
smell
is
of
when
burning
I
hair.
That is when I always imagined just being more about the rhythm of like hearing the clacka of controller joysticks across the couch rather than trying to, you know, compensate for like stream lag and
Yeah, I think
goodness.
almost hearing the
Sorry, I
okay.
just saw Boogie's emote.
The squish smug Morri. That's so perfect.
Let's go.
Thank you, Boogie. I wish those of you who are watching this in the future could see, but just imagine the smug Morri emote. Crushed.
Yes, well done, Boogie.
I can see it. It is exactly what it says.
Oh, it's the bows.
There he is. What are you gonna get? Dang, Birdo has some good emotes.
I'm getting an artifact that...
Oh, he's not giving you his special thing that he stayed up all night to make?
Oh, I don't get... okay, I'm just getting robbed and given...
I mean, you get
Okay,
some
I can
out
at
of
least...
it.
I can punish one of you. That's nice. Okay.
Hooray. You escaped the fun zone.
No, well, you get to loop right back around, so that's not so bad. Oh, except you're broke.
Deposit to do... Ah! Shouldn't have used that mushroom! No!
Why does Ryfam have so many coins? That's a good question. Invested in
hasn't
Toad coin at the right time. No. Toad would be a
spent
crypto
on a
bro.
large strawberry. Hasn't, oh, no. No, has a star.
Which Mario character do you think would be most likely to invest in cryptocurrency?
Wario, is this even a
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, of
no,
course.
obviously Wario. Waluigi
maybe
tries to follow
Waluigi.
suit. No, Waluigi tries to
Yeah, I
follow
was thinking-
suit, but
I was thinking Wario would try more traditional way. Wario would try more traditional ways of getting rich, whereas Waluigi would try to like one-up him.
I think
As a
friendly
Wario would
rivalry.
buy into crypto, and Waluigi would try and one-up him by trying like some niche coin that he winds up getting scammed out of everything.
Like-
How topical.
Oh, yeah, like, Waluigi gets
Oh,
Dogecoin.
leaving
Yeah, that's...
the best for last.
Goodness, how's this gonna shake out?
Okay, I can deal with that.
No! My money! Wario Paint,
Yeah,
that's where NFTs come from. Waluigi buys Dogecoin, exactly. But it's Yoshcoin here.
I was just about to say
Yoshcoin.
Yoshcoin. I've been waiting to say Yoshcoin. You and I are on the same wavelength, Morri.
And they look like the dragon
what?
coins from Super Mario World. I
The
like
way
that
I'm
that
seeing it
emote,
is
silly.
like
I don't know
War-
what it is, but it's like Wario having some kind of acid trip.
The way I'm seeing it is Wario is like the NFT grifter, and Waluigi is the NFT grifty.
Yes, exactly.
I remember somebody saying that Wario is just the funniest character. Like, you can put Wario in any situation and it becomes hilarious.
It's true.
Well, I want to see Wario in a prestige drama now. Wario in the Mario Universe's version of Breaking Bad. Let's go, let's go. Oopsie, he would be a drug lord. Well,
just imagine Wario would change the tone to like, you know, the type of telenovela that like Jane the Virgin was making fun of, like that exactly.
I can see Wario as more of a Sopranos type.
Interesting.
I've
never actually seen The Sopranos, by the way.
I wish I could approximate some kind of Spanish accent and then do a bastardization of Wario's voice that way, but it's not gonna happen. Yeah.
Oh. Good job.
Cutie.
That's basically what The Day the Clown Cried is, starring Jerry Lewis. Oh, I've never heard of that. Have a good one, Boogie. Thank you for joining us. I'll party hardy extra for you. Skateboarding real good. I've never been on a skateboard. Merge Wario and Booster. They gotta be cousins, right?
I always thought that Booster was sort of like they didn't have the rights to Wario or something. Like he was discount Wario. Ooh.
I'm sorry, who's Booster?
He's from Super Mario RPG. He looks a lot like Wario. Do I want to use... No, I don't need my word block. Actually, no, let me...
I think Booster is more man-child than Wario is, which is saying something, but...
Actually, no, I don't want to use it because I have no money. Because somebody took it. At least let me get the Koopa. Come on. Oh, good. This is not the Koopa I wanted. I wanted the discount Koopa. Not the big box store Costco Koopa. Sam's Club Koopa. Okay. You know, I think this actually works out for me.
Revolution.
Seize the means of production.
But I have so many.
Oh, wait! Okay, I thought he hadn't distributed it yet. And I thought, how did I somehow lose money? Nice! You did make the world a better place.
That's more than you had before, isn't it?
I kind of wish that could have happened, say, like, one turn cycle sooner. just throwing that out there. Where's the dice that lets you go backwards?
That's not in this Mario Party, I'm sorry.
A moonwalk dice.
No,
I can't tell if you're messing with me.
No, there is in Mario Party 3. There is a reverse mushroom. It was actually good for Woody Woods, because if you went the wrong way past an intersection, you could use a reverse mushroom and then go the way you wanted. Ooh. Rosie's thinking really hard about her shopping.
Well, I just got a windfall from the Bowser Revolution, so...
Booster is a trust fund kid. Where did Booster get his tower from? Nepotism, obviously. He inherited it. A reverse room was really good. Or like if you ever had... Oh, who's having a refreshing beverage?
Oh, that'd be I.
What are you drinking?
Yeah, it's not me. I wish.
I am drinking a woodchuck sangria.
I've never had a sangria before. They kind of seem like they would be too sweet for me, but... Oh, okay.
They are quite sweet.
Pile up on the birthday girl. Oh, good. You get to kick soccer balls at my face. I love it. Technically, I think this is treason.
What makes this treason?
No, it's just a fun game of soccer.
Oh, like up against the wall, I mean go posts? Yeah, I can see it.
Rosie is the person in front of you at McDonald's taking forever to decide on what she wants. No. Man, I get so many of those at my job. Like, not a lot. Oh, maybe I should dive. I feel like when I dive, I just go over the ball.
I think Wario is the type to go to the drive-thru and go like, I'll have the...
He would do it on purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Like immediately, or just like
I almost had
deliberately waste everybody's time.
I had somebody the other week who was in line and he got up front. And then he's like, oh, hang on. Let me text my buddy and see what he wants. It's like, no. No, why do you do this?
You get out of line at least. I mean, like,
are you being called out? Do you do this, Andorra? Do you get to the front of the line?
Are you the type?
I mean, okay, if there's no one else there, and you get up to the front, you don't know what you want, that's fine. But if you've been waiting in line with ample opportunity to look at the menu, and then as soon as you get to the front, then you realize, oh, there's a menu, I should figure out what I want. That's when I'm making faces at you beneath my mask.
Wario is the big smoke of Mario.
What does that mean?
From Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Big Smoke is a character who has an infamous drive-thru order. A very long drive-thru order.
I don't know much about San Andreas. Like, I've only experienced bits and pieces of GTA in passing. This is embarrassing, but I am way too soft-hearted to ever play GTA because I feel guilty. Yes, I know there are polygons on a screen. I can't throw this nice man out of his vehicle.
No, I get it. I never got into
oh, I wanted
GTA
the big
either.
one. No. My big boy.
Honestly, I bought GTA 5 and I got way more mileage out of the multiplayer than I did out of the single player.
Yeah, I think that's probably true for a lot of people.
Lately, I've been enjoying.
Only Rockstar.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, the only Rockstar game I got really into was Bully. Sorry, go ahead. What were you saying?
I was gonna say that my only really recent experience with GTA lately has been I've seen a lot of interesting glitches and other oversights from the Definitive Edition collection, including one I saw most recently was somebody found if you wiggle your car back and forth, it gradually gets bigger. And you may find yourself behind the wheel of a large automobile.
It wouldn't be the same seed twice, right? Like, it wouldn't.
Oh, tell me the story, silly. I want to know. You could always play GTA while breaking as few laws as possible, like 0-star
like
speed
stopping
run.
at the stoplight.
Yes.
Oh goodness.
I would drive at a snail's pace. I would drive recklessly. That's the one thing I can't turn off. I've played too much Mario Kart to go at a sane pace. Wario's fast food experience is him going into the restaurant, taking several handfuls of condiment packs, and then simply leaving without saying a word. Shaking the trash can. He would also, like, open the ketchup packets and salt packets and, like, dump them on the table and then leave. He's the guy who takes, like, 5 hands. Stop it!
Oh,
handfuls of napkins.
This again! This again! I'm sorry, Morri.
Happy birthday to me.
Wonderful birthday to
Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday.
May 10th came early this year. That's my birthday.
I'd say you're not invited to my birthday party anymore, but you're already here. At least I still have my personality. What good does that get you these days? Does it get you a star? No.
Yeah, you get bonus
any
personality points.
elements of the grinds. That.
I'll get the most pitiable bonus star. Player that I personally felt the worst for.
Isn't there a Mario Party game that actually does give you a bonus for, like, the least fortunate or something? Like,
I'm not sure.
Like the most, or like the... I feel like there was one where you, like, get a star for the least amount of stars.
I know... Well, it's not the same, but I'm thinking of Mario Party 9 had these reverse mini-games where the objective was to lose the best out of everyone. The only one I could really remember... Oh, good! Me again. Is one where you had to fall down, and normally you're supposed to dodge, like, paratroopers and whatnot to get to the bottom first, but in this one you have to try and hit every single obstacle on your way down.
Oh, well.
Oh,
Yay!
good job, Morri.
Oh, team.
Anyway, it just kind of reminds me of, you know that bit in The Simpsons where Homer's in the stretcher and he falls down Springfield Gorge? After trying to jump it with a skateboard and he, like, hits everything on the way up. And then he rolls out of the ambulance after it crashes and then hits everything on his way back down. That's what it was like.
Yep.
I am the best running back. Peach has guns, man. Can't bring myself to throw someone out of a car, but won't hesitate to ram your car off the road. Oh yeah, I mean, once you're in another vehicle, you're my opposition. We're on equal footing.
Well, there's something, you know, they say that, like, if you throw something like a Wendy's hamburger wrapper out of the I don't know why I went to that specific thing off that out of a 70-mile-per-hour moving car, it's moving at 70 miles per hour at an angle that people aren't expecting. But if you drive your car, like, into something, that's honest, because that's, like, the direction you're driving, you know? Like, you were on board about you were above board about this the whole time. That's my take on it, anyway.
Everyone does not know and love Lakitu. Come on.
I'm reading a silly story.
Oh, your high school is a
they're
Popeyes right next to it, so a
Yeah.
lot of people go to it. So you're waiting in line with friends, and there's one person in front of you. He orders and then calls someone, and then 4 people come in through the doors, and they cut in line. God.
No. No, that's like they
I'm
should
gonna
have to
shove
wait
so
in
many
line. They
ketchup
can't just,
packets
like,
down their gullet. You met your advisor and they told you you wouldn't graduate. In retaliation, you grabbed like 10 cookies and shoved them in all your pockets. So many crumbs. Toad does not approve of this behavior, but I do.
And Pandora says, if a burger flew into my mouth at 70 miles per hour, I think I'd like that. Would you, though? I mean, I think that'd, like, be a serious choking
I mean,
hazard.
you might like it right until you suffer serious cerebral trauma. Toad never approved. Toad doesn't approve anything. It'd kill you, but it'd be tasty.
Yeah. Fair point.
Wish I had spent money on those large boys. Let me see. Where is everybody? Nobody's right in front of the star, so I can't capitalize on that. Eh. Death by burger does sound appealing. How about just the burger bit, and we skip the death?
Yeah.
Hi.
I thought you were going to say, how about just death?
Ah,
How about
it's
a
smiling at
non-fatal
me.
burger overdose?
That's cute. I wish I could, like, gently pet it.
Feed me, Seymour.
You gotta do it in the voice.
That was my best attempt at the voice without embarrassing
Or
myself.
the mother brain voice, if you will.
Right, same voice. What was his name? Levi Stubbs?
I
Was
don't
that it?
remember.
I think-
I don't think I ever knew his name. I've probably heard it before, but I don't remember it. You got a corpse flower in Animal Crossing? What?
But
Oh,
Explain.
thanks, Stack. Oh, the
What a cute giggle.
she's
I don't
enjoyed
know
that
how
a
to
little
pronounce
too
it.
much.
I don't know how to pronounce it, but like Rafflesia.
Oh,
I've never
Rafflesia.
said that word out loud.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
the flower that Vile Plume is based on. Oh, yeah, I think I remember
Yeah.
that was a thing in earlier Animal Crossings where, like, if your island got really overrun with trash and garbage.
Yeah. I've never seen it in Animal Crossing, and I don't know. Is that a humble brag? I don't, I don't know. Like,
I don't know if it's
really
like a
good care of
brag
my
if your
village.
island's covered in trash.
Yeah. Well, I
Oh,
mean, like the fact that I haven't
spoilers.
seen it. Oh.
My island's covered in trash, but I'm hoping at some point they'll move out.
Yeah, unfortunately, I
Too
have...
mean! That feels too mean about a bunch of fictional animals.
Well, okay,
somehow.
who is your least favorite villager that you have? Who do you want gone?
I haven't picked it up in.
You don't feel a little
It was a
seed of
very-
hatred still lingering in your heart?
It wasn't that bad. I don't know. It was a thing that engaged me real hard at the start of the pandemic, but I think like the association with the pandemic hurt like the game in my mind.
Oh, I get that.
I just wish they would make terraforming not terrible, because I haven't tried the new update. I thought about it, but I'd really like to remodel my island, and I was really hoping they would add sort of an expanded version of what you can do inside your house now, where you can just take a bird's eye view and just place stuff like that, as opposed to having to manually dig up ground or put in water or whatever. Like even add like a little grid so I can see what tile I'm about to smack my shovel into. No, I can't reach the coin peg.
What am I doing? We're all on the same team.
When they were when they had the Animal Crossing Direct a couple weeks ago, and they showed the Happy Home Paradise and how you could model the outside of the homes, like you could plant trees on a grid or whatever. I'm like, I wish that would be nice to have in the actual game.
How would I describe
I've been playing the update.
Low budget, I think. Low budget, but I think there's a certain degree of camp in a B movie too.
Wasn't the term? Oh, sorry. Wasn't the term originally referring to like double features, and the B movie would be like the second movie?
How do you keep landing on that? I don't actually know, but that sounds like a reasonable explanation.
And the B movie was usually like the lesser one. Like the A movie would be the one people were going to see, basically.
I knew you were going to say it's the B movie.
Well, that's what the title B movie is based on, right? Like it's a pun on B movie.
I mean, I figured as much.
Yeah,
but I didn't want to invoke that movie specifically. Yeah, we know who's getting the event star. If we get it. I hope they give us the proper 3 bonus stars. Let's look at that blueberry. Well, you can't anymore. It was a nice looking
I'm looking
blueberry.
at that strawberry. That very handsome strawberry.
The one that's in the side of the cake, like that you can see the half of it.
Or I was talking about the piranha plant.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna tunnel a little hole in the icing and climb underneath and just put some fondant on my head.
Why? What's wrong?
I just made myself look silly. On my stream?
No.
Never.
On your birthday.
Bug Fables is based on that movie. Oh man. There's an AU I don't think I want, but I'm intrigued. You have so many stars, Rosalina. You have hundreds of stars at your beck and call. Do you really need another one? No. Give it to your pal Peach.
Yeah, she collects stars like people collect action figures.
Brings you back to early Undertale internet. Oh boy, how there were AUs everywhere. I did not engage, but I mean, it's nice that fandom inspires that kind of creativity. Although I did notice a lot of people would take these established characters and then remix them to the point where they're completely divorced from their original incarnations beyond like maybe their appearance. At that point I think, why don't you just make your own characters? Then you don't get the engagement because you don't have the Undertale name on it. You engaged, you regret it. Hey, no judgment. I used to use LiveJournal. Anybody remember that?
I had a Zanga at one point.
Wow.
I don't know if anybody in the chat knows Zanga.
I know what a Zanga is.
I don't.
It's like a blogging service.
It was like another LiveJournal, basically.
Nobody
read it but me.
It's like your underground blog, and then when you become like a famous director or something, or screenwriter in the future, people are gonna dig up your Zanga. I don't even know if the servers are still up.
Yeah,
Oh, thanks.
That's what I get for thinking about my Zanga more than... No, I had it back in like 8th grade, and like the only thing I ever talked about was like things that happened to me in 8th grade.
You know, the waves don't go as high as they used to. Like, the tall waves used to be really big.
Do you have to get to the center, or do you just have to survive?
I just have to survive. I mean, I could get to the center and, like, slap her, but that would be untoward.
I didn't see a button for slap.
That's the DLC.
Oh, so we all win because you won. Okay.
Yes. You are riding on my
Thank you,
petty
Morri.
coattails, if you will. You are a Zanga. You lived on GameFAQs and MySpace.
I also lived on GameFAQs. I had a MySpace. It wasn't a very successful
Don't say
one.
ancient. I never used MySpace because I never saw the purpose of me using it. I use GameFAQs and I still use GameFAQs, but I've never touched the forums with a 10-foot pole. That's like radioactive.
Yeah, I used to be very active on them.
Let me see.
I feel like this is a completely different conversation, but it is what I spent most of my time on. Just AOL Instant Messenger. When they pulled the plug on
yeah.
it, which was like...
Oh, yeah.
That was the best possible outcome.
I was still using it.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's how Morri and I used to communicate with AIM.
We used AOL. Like, I had to have something nice happen.
Well, you deserve a star because you are a star.
And now people are gonna complain I'm rigging the game. Every time. If I lose, it's hilarious, but if I win, oh, rigged.
Morri, it's your birthday. You're allowed to rig the game.
Yeah, exactly.
I have your express permission to rig the game.
And yes, Dawn, I loved AIM too. Okay, I'm going to share a story I've never told anybody. Back when I was like 12, and I started using AIM for the first time, I loved it so much that I like emailed Microsoft or no, I emailed AOL saying like, thank you for this program.
Thank you, John,
really
AOL.
And
so
needless to say, I did not get a response. I don't even know where that email went.
Me too.
I don't even know who saw that.
Hopefully, like they should have
If
sent you
anybody
some like
saw it.
free trial CDs or something. I love that
We used to
Goomba's
microwave
animations.
those.
What?
Yeah, we used to microwave. By the way, do not try this at home.
Yeah.
I do not recommend anybody do this.
Don't
But,
listen to what
when
these guys are saying. I don't condone
But
it.
when we were kids, we would microwave discs for like 2 seconds, and it would like explode.
I'd always be afraid that it would like do something to the microwave, and
Oh, I'm sure
then,
it was
like,
highly
the
dangerous.
And then the
I
next
do.
time, like we had like bagel bites or something, like something's off about this tastes like 90s era Smash Mouth. What did somebody put a CD in
This
the
tastes
microwave?
like dial-up.
Oh,
Well,
Do kids still know what
Well, these-
ASL means? Yeah, I mean, American Sign Language is the more common definition, but it used to be on the internet. Okay, it was age, sex, live, where people basically wanted to know how old you were
location.
and your
I
gender
thought.
I
and
thought the
location.
L was location. Yeah,
Oh, see, I heard it defined to me as live, but location too.
I guess that works too. Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
it was pretty much like, okay, you're using this chat client for something different than what I'm using it for. Because my parents just told me, like, oh, don't chat with anyone, because they heard, like, all the... Like, they heard the news reports, but we were such early adopters of the internet, they didn't have any concept of what that all, like, meant. So... when my cousin was the first one who IM'd me, and it was my cousin who I knew, but I still was like, I'm not allowed to be doing this, Colin.
It's kind of wild to me just how the attitude around internet safety has changed so wildly. I mean, back in my day, you didn't want to even give your real name to people because they're all creepy older men who will stalk you. They will find where you live.
Yeah, the landscape of the internet has really changed. I mean, they used to be like, don't give any personal information, don't give your name, and now like you have to do that basically. Like you're considered weird if you don't.
Yeah,
use
I've
your
seen
real
people
name.
say like, "Oh, if you don't post all this personal info, I don't trust you." And it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa! People can use that to hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's this whole like thing of like the card thing where people will just put on all their real information, where they live, and any triggers for their mental disorder. Like it's like you're giving these people strangers a lot of ammunition to use against.
You think the people who would use those to hurt you would respect you putting them there and saying, "Don't post these"? No, they're going to use it to hurt you. Anyway, please stay safe, Squiddos.
Yeah, I agree, Morri.
I feel like looking at YouTube analytics, I have a lot of younger viewers. So this is me saying to you, if somebody is ever pressuring you to put your personal information on the internet, do not feel like you have to do that. That is not safe. You got to do what makes you feel comfortable. Stay safe. Thank you for coming to my Morri talk.
Why do they need to know? Why do they need to know? It's not going to be relevant unless they are not being upfront about their intentions. I mean, I was completely anonymous on the internet through ages 13 through 17, and then someone said my real name on the internet, and I had a conniption at him because how dare you? How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah.
And it was completely fine. Like I have plenty of internet kind of friendships that have persisted to this day. It's just so very strange to me that it's gotta all be up front.
Oh my god, Silly just posted their phone number. 42069.
Oh no.
Silly, is that a weed?
Silly, I wish I could get that phone number. That's
I remember years ago I saw a friend of mine, his brother I saw his brother's profile, and his brother's profile said my phone number is 8675309, and for some reason I didn't get. I was like saying to my friend, like, "Hey, your brother put his phone number on. You should talk to him about that." And then he was like laughing at me. He was like, "Joe, read the number again." And I felt very, very foolish.
Me grading Silly on their gardening. I'm very strict. Let's see how Daisy's gardening goes. Oh, it's perfect. Showstopper. I mean, look at that
Also,
flame.
to reiterate... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no. That was it.
To reiterate on safety, and to further a point I made earlier, please do not put things in the microwave that do not belong in the microwave.
Define belong in the microwave.
Like, things that you were supposed to eat. Like, you can put those in the microwave.
You could eat a CD if you weren't a coward.
You wouldn't eat a car.
Oh, the cake. I never saw that
I
cake.
love the cake. Oh, it's made of rocks?
It's made of rocks!
Bowser gave you a cool rock in the shape of a cake?
For minerals. No,
Marie.
Marie. There, yeah, I haven't seen that beautiful model in HD.
There was a radio station in like New York that changed their number to 8675309 and changed it back in like a week after the endless calls. Oof. I remember hearing.
Yeah, I always wondered. No, go
Every
ahead.
movie has had to have a 555. How did Tommy get away with that?
Oh, I didn't know this one was in here too. Nice. I remember hearing. I haven't seen Squid Game, but I've heard that originally they had put in an actual phone number and they didn't do the 555 thing. So a real person in Korea got flooded with calls.
Oh,
I mean, who does it? Well, I guess some.
I remember.
Okay, see you, Dak.
I remember hearing that about the movie Bruce Almighty. In the movie, God has a phone number, and it apparently was a real phone number, and somebody kept getting calls from people.
I would say, like, who would call a movie phone number, but then it feels like some places would actually put, like, get you something for marketing purposes. Whoa! Oh, my city now.
Yeah, I would. This is Peach's Island. Treat it well.
So tiny. Can I get a new one?
She could probably build a
like
castle
Morgan
on it.
Freeman. Friedman. What?
Morgan
what
Freedman? This is my OC,
Yeah.
Morgan Freedman.
That's what he was at the end of Shawshank. He was a Morgan Free man.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
there's a guy who
I
ate an
can't
entire
say-
plane?
Probably get good ROI on this. That's just my take. But you're still gonna go for it. just love those strawberries, I guess.
What do you call it when you
I
scrap
mean,
the
you
name of
never
a
know,
sea
somebody might
story?
land on it.
Hang on, we need to think about this.
What do you when you scrap the name of a sea story? I don't know.
I can't be clever while I'm streaming. Look, I can either play game or be clever, and never the twain shall meet. I don't know, does anybody know? I'm gonna take a little round one. Looks like a pumpkin. A tidal wave.
That's a good one.
Pseudonym is good too.
I'm so sorry for you that you don't get to see
Ooh.
the great Bowser on your birthday.
It's okay.
Oh.
He'll just kidnap me after this is all over. We have an arrangement. You watched me for a year. Gosh, has it been that long? How long have I been streaming? It's like a little over a year and a half?
Well, this current stream, yeah, maybe a year or two.
So I think I
a year and a half,
started
but I mean,
in April of the previous year because the store I worked at had to close for a couple weeks, like a month, while they figured out what they were going to do for the pandemic. Oh good. I decided I'm going to stream on the regular again because I had played through Hollow Knight and loved it so much. I wanted to share it with friends. And then it just kind of spiraled from there. And I'm so thankful to have people that tune in and watch, even on YouTube, because I'm a small streamer. I don't advertise. So having an audience means so much to me. Thank you very much. Tell your friends.
And we're so grateful that you stream.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm also very grateful to be on your stream. This is a lot of fun for me.
Oh yeah, it's a privilege. So you can't beat me too badly or I'll kick you out.
Right.
I
Especially
don't
not
wanna
on your
put that
birthday.
there. Oh no. Not on my birthday.
I am terrible at this one.
No, you wouldn't like take stars from me on my birthday or anything, right? No.
You want to download a car. I don't know though why that's where my mind went.
I mean, Dak did make
Because
the joke
it's always
earlier.
funny.
Oh, garbage.
Oh, what am I doing?
What are you doing,
Oh,
Dak?
thank you, Silly, for rooting for me. You probably would do better putting your money on somebody else.
I'm not looking at the chat. No one's rooting for me, right? If you are, you're wasting your money. I don't know why there's a monetary value in this.
I think
You
I've
are
only
ahead
won.
by like
Oh, I am.
twofold,
Oh,
Mari.
never
I
mind.
think I've only ever won this game
my
once. and it
Puyo
was against
skills
the
are
CPU.
not transferring.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, Silly, you bet on the wrong horse.
Oh, you found me through my art getting retweeted by Bug Fables. Gosh, I still have a lot of unfinished comics, and I still doodle Team Snake Mouse sometimes, but I never post it because I can't focus enough to finish stuff lately, and it drives me crazy. You've lost Silly's loyalty. All you do to win that minigame is hold down. So I played some of this with my brother on the weekend, and Mario's Puzzle Party was one of his favorites from 3, and he would always win that one, and it drove me crazy. So I decided while I was playing, I would watch what he does, thinking, because I was trying to be deliberate about my block placement, and he would just like hold the hard drop button and just put things down rapidly. Like, oh, so that's like the button mashing to win a fighting game. You found me through Bug Fables as well? Gosh.
Bug Fables was a very delightful stretch of streaming.
Oh, I'm glad.
Absolutely.
I loved it so much. It just, man, it's like the character dynamics were so good. I like the world building. Like, it was nice to have a game where I was really invested in the cast and wanted to see what happened to them. And also, I feel like more media in general needs to have like Chaos Uncle, Chaos Teenager dynamic, like Leaf and V. Like, you'd think because he's the oldest, he would be the sensible one. No, he's an enabler. He wants to fight someone. Leaf wants to steal.
Sorry.
A Doc and Marty type.
Was that the only game that you streamed? That was your first time playing that you were streaming? Without having played it previously.
There was also Pikuniku and Corinne Cross's Dead and Breakfast. I'd never played before.
Oh, and Chicory too. Right?
Yeah, Chicory was totally blind playthrough, which was so good. You found me by playing Mario Party 4. Oh, I didn't know you came from Mario Party. That's cool. You came from Mario RPG and stayed, and I'm so grateful for sticking around, even when I played non-Mario stuff. Something about the perspective on this spiny shell is wigging me out. I think because our shadows just look odd on the ice. I don't know, whatever. Let's get stabbed.
Maybe it'll be better when it zooms in. Who knows? No, it is weird. That shadow thing is a... I mean, I get that it's accurate, but it's not... Morri!
I'm not trying to do it on purpose. I was just going that way. Oh. Bird don't. Woo.
Oh! That was mean! That was mean!
Oh.
General principle of physics!
Now, how do I get down?
Yeah, I was wondering how they got up there. Did, Lakitu, carry them up?
Yes, we get dumped up there. Oh boy. Here it is. You completely forgot you could jump. You did pretty well, considering.
Yeah. I don't think I got a single item in this one. Except for the curse block that I didn't want.
Oh, good job, Dak. It was nice to have a new
looking
Paper
at the
Mario.
chat. What was that for? What did I even...
You used the most items. You
Hurrah!
engaged in capitalism the most. Oh! Sorry about that. Well,
Toad
here it
just
is.
apologizes. I don't buy it, Toad. I don't buy it.
He loved every minute. Ooh.
Oh.
Oh!
You were breaking Toadette's heart.
I love all these emotes. Good job, everyone.
Well, time to get devoured on my own birthday cake.
Oh.
Oof.
Chomp.
Disgusting.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Dak. You are the prettiest princess. I don't know if you could call Rosalina a princess.
I know a lot of
That's
people
her
do.
title, isn't it? Wait.
No, she
No,
doesn't
she's
have
not
one.
officially a princess.
Huh,
She's just Rosalina.
I just assumed because of the crown.
Good.
Yeah.
Happy freaking birthday to me.
Oh.
Joke's on you. This is actually a lot of fun.
Yeah. You are the superstar in our hearts.
I'm a superstar because it's spitting me into space, baby. She's just
What is
cosplaying
that
as a
about?
princess. She bought it from the 99-cent store. 99 coins would be really expensive, though. Is there a smaller denomination? Estimated shipping date for the Bug Fables Collector's Edition is Q4 2021. Yeah, it's all the delays because of the V plush. Unlock the bee. Is that Mario getting snapped? Is that what that is? A solid effort. Whatever.
That's good.
Oh, I won more mini games. Not that it matters. So
did you want... Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, so like time-wise, maybe we could do like a 10-turn board or something? How does everyone feel?
Yeah, for that.
I would be good with that. I was thinking either that or like mount mini games, whichever you want. You're the birthday superstar, so you get to decide.
Fan? Let's do another board. I like the chaos it involves. Yay.
I also hope whenever the DLC comes, stickers. Come on, bring them.
The scene from the Mario Bros. Movie where he disappears through the portal, it's that. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
It just looked like him being faded out of existence. Alright, what haven't we done on stream? Horrorland?
We haven't done...
Or
yeah,
Yosh?
we haven't done that or Horrorland.
What does the chat think? Horrorland or Yosh Coin?
Yoshland.
What do you think, Dag?
Yoshland.
Yosh?
I think for a 10-round game, Yoshland would probably be better.
All right,
the complexities of the Halloween board, as much as I like it, might not have a chance to unfurl.
Plus, if it doesn't take too long, I can always add more turns, which is a nice little bonus.
Yeah, that's...
Looks
have
like...
you ever been able to do that in Mario Party before?
No. Everybody's buying a Yosh Coin, like Waluigi.
Another delicious board.
Yeah, if you like watermelon. Ugh.
I do.
Ugh.
Maury, I hate to say it, I think you're going to be
it's okay.
the odd one out on...
It's okay, I know. I am an outlier and should not be counted. Yoshi's your main in this game, so you will always strive for rap respectable.
I don't have a main, but I remember on the original Mario Party on the N64, I mained Peach. I only played as Peach, and I don't really know why, but I just like playing as Peach.
Because Peach rules. I mean, she does it all in heels.
And she literally rules a kingdom.
No, silly, it just means more watermelon for you. No.
Just that I think Mario Galaxy is my favorite Mario game. Maybe it's that.
There he is.
But Rosalina is badass as hell, so I try to main her wherever it's in.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
that's
Rosie.
Very fair.
I play as her in Mario Kart a lot. Or I did. Mario Kart 8 in the Wii
U. My friend decided to... I forget what happened, but wound up having 2 themes for her Halloween party. It was... no, what was it? No, she outright just decided to troll us from the beginning, saying sexy Mario characters, saying like, no one's gonna do this. And I'm like, I'm going to go as a burlesque Rosalina. And I did. But it's the first time I wore high heels, and I didn't know that what you're supposed to do is to wear flats to the party and then change when you get there.
Oh, see,
I just took the subway from Boston to take a bus to walk out to like Lynn or something, and in 4-inch heels. And
I bet your calves looked amazing though. Everybody on the train was probably jealous.
If I was able to stand up straight at that point, probably.
So, like, for the sexy Mario characters party, somebody went, like, just as Waluigi as is, right?
No one... Most people just... Like, I think what had happened is, this friend had hosted many Halloween parties in the past, is she always threw a theme out, but most people had a costume that they were doing anyway, and like there were only like 2 or 3 people that adhered to the theme, so she was like, alright, I'm not even gonna make this easy to follow. But one of my friends went as the same friend I went to Japan with, actually. The disco friend from WarioWare?
Oh, Jimmy T.
Jimmy T.
Yeah!
Jimmy
Jimmy
Thang. Apparently the T means Thang.
That makes sense.
That's such a WarioWare answer.
Were there any other people in costume?
That's a pro costume.
Those are the only two. I think it was just me and her. I think that was it.
This here is Mona Pizza, makers of the world's best pizza.
Makers of the world's best pizza.
Fresh sauce and cheese galore.
Cheese galore.
Brought straight to your front door.
Brought straight to your front door.
I think we're doing like a round here because of the delay.
It sounds like it's almost synced up on my end, but I don't know what the stream's hearing.
Oh, it's not Jimmy Thang, it's Jimmy Thang with an A.
I'm sorry, Silly. It's synced up on my end, but I wasn't listening to the stream audio.
I don't want to go that way. I don't want to go that. I can't turn around. It doesn't let you turn around. Well, that's terrible.
Oh, I hate this whole like.
I'm trying so hard to go backwards. And
you can
can't.
turn like the controls being relative to your characters, like the way their shoulders are squared.
No, man, it's it's the best way to play Top Ride and Kirby Air Ride.
I'm just going to wing it. Because I really don't know how this turning works.
Morri, you are off like a gun. What is happening?
Because I played so much Top Ride and Kirby Air Ride that this control scheme is natural to me.
Okay, Chad, it's time to call her out for rigging it
But
again.
no! Don't rally them against
kidding.
me. No, you're not, Joe. Air Ride Superstars win. Oh, I wish. I know Masahiro Sakurai really needs a break, but also Air Ride Superstars win.
I'm so bummed that he doesn't want to make another Kid Icarus. I felt that was
he doesn't?
a supremely charming little game there. And he doesn't.
Air Ride Superiority. Co-signed.
I'll be honest, I want him to take... First of all, I want him to take a nice break. I want him to... Like, I mean, I feel like even... We've intruded on his life even more. During the pandemic, he had to film shit in his home.
Yeah.
I feel very bad about that. Like, yeah, very nice house, though.
Yeah, nice house.
But he needs a break. He needs a break, and I say this as someone that does love the Smash series to pieces. Let him be done with it, and don't make another one. Just keep...
Yeah, it's like, you can't even really say like how you could possibly top Ultimate. Like the only way I think they could go from there is to like do like a reboot where they just like really cut down the roster.
Luigi. Yeah, although I'd say just port it like they're gonna do to Mario Kart 8 forever and ever. But there's so many third-party license agreements. I don't know what kind of a nightmare even that's gonna be.
Yeah. And one thing I'd like to see them do, just my own personal wish, is if they... Well, first of all, like I said, like you both said, I would like Sakurai to take a break for a while from Smash Brothers.
Add Rayman, yes, add Rayman, I agree.
Yeah, Rayman
I was
would be good.
rooting for Rayman throughout the entire...
I should stream Rayman
too
someday.
Oh, please do. I always wondered what the original... Oh, hello, Bowser Space.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Dang,
like
look at that watermelon, though.
It's delicious. I'd personally, I'd like to see them redo most of the original characters' movesets, like, especially Samus. Samus definitely needs a moveset redesign. Like, you could definitely tell it was from the N64 era, because you don't... Like, the design philosophy for the movesets of the new characters are so much different than the ones from the originals, because the new ones, like, you could tell they really wanted to make them as accurate to the games as possible, whereas Samus, like, punches and kicks, which, granted, she does that now, but, like, back then she didn't do that.
Yeah. And also the new ones are very much made out of, okay, how do we make this character stand out from a roster of, like, 64?
And they're all from Fire Emblem.
Samus was like... That's unfair. Only 2/3 of them are from
Fire Emblem. The Warner Bros. Smash Bros. Game, which I thought was a joke when I heard about it.
Oh yeah,
Well,
and
hey,
there's
I
the
mean,
Nicklodeon one,
more
which
platform
I heard is
fighters
actually pretty good.
Although I've heard the Nickelodeon one oddly does not contain any voice acting, and because of that, it feels really sterile in comparison to Smash Bros. Like I've heard it's good, but
Yeah.
it lacks some of the soul, and also apparently like it needs a lot of inputs to play well, so it's really hard on your hands.
Yeah, the lack of voice acting is weird to me. I guess it was a budget thing.
LeBron
'cause you
James
can
is rumored
tell-
to be the first DLC. Ooh.
Oh goodness! I'm hoping that we all pick the same thing this time. Let's all get on the same wavelength for solidarity. I want this just to unify us, not because I want to win the game. Not because I want to win the game.
Of course.
If Tom and Jerry were a fighter, okay. They would be like Duck Hunt, except combined with how Pichu injures itself, so they just constantly injure themselves while playing.
Apparently, I heard the rumor as to why they were making a Warner Brothers fighting game is because of all the Shaggy Ultimate Power memes or whatever, like where Shaggy using 1% of his power, and so they like wanted to cash in on that.
Good. Yeah, there's been worse reasons to make games.
Like I also realized that Shaggy would be an extremely easy cosplay for me. I just need a green shirt and brown pants, and that's about it. With my, well, I'd have to shave, but my current long hair would be perfect.
He's got chin
You
stubble.
need the shave, except for a few long hairs here and there.
Yeah,
it would be an
I mean,
incredibly precise shaving job.
But I have a very full beard right now that is very unshaggy.
A winter beard. Your
You
playoff
say
beard, if you
unshaggy, but beards are generally perceived as the shaggier than a clean-shaven face.
Right, that is very true, Jack. It's a paradox of shagginess.
will. But we are not going anywhere fast on this board.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
honestly,
this might be a goose egg across the board game, and I'm okay to see how that plays out.
I realized that I don't even know if I was going in the right direction. I'm kind of. I admit I'm getting a little tired.
That's okay.
I admit I'm just biding the time till the minigames. That is my strategy with this one.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I did the best of the minigames last time, and look where it got me.
Let's go.
Ejected from a piranha plant's maw, and it was not sanitary in there, I can tell you that. They don't brush.
I think
Man, I love the
think you
detail
mean
on that water.
strawberry.
Sorry. They don't brush.
They
I love how
wouldn't put a piranha plant on a cake. Everyone knows that. It was a strawberry. Clearly.
Right, but they will put various characters' asses on a cake.
We didn't even highlight the ass zone, which is the space between the Wario and the Donkey Kong backsides. Hang on.
Also, sorry, this stream just became PG-13.
I think it got...
It was PG-13
Yeah.
the moment we entered the ass zone. Just because we didn't put a name on it doesn't make
They
it
could
any
see
more.
it. People had to
Doesn't
look
mean
at...
it wasn't incredibly suggestive.
People had to look at the
Yeah.
Badonka Donka Kong. Yeah, you said a swear, you're banned.
Yeah. We're now rated T for teen.
Embrace
I can
chaos.
swear a cuss myself. Diaper biscuit.
Rick, but no
Or
Morty.
they're probably. I know Maury's going to get that reference. I don't know if anybody else will.
I'm sure there's Homestar Runner fans in here.
Oh.
You need... I think
Oh, is
Morty
this a real
should be...
lineup? This is bizarre.
Morty should be like the Pichu that just injures himself.
I was gonna mock this Warner game as like a corporate like dystopian hellscape, but
Oh,
looking
no,
at the
okay.
actual lineup, I'm getting like Marvel vs. Capcom vibes, and I hate to admit it.
Has it even been officially confirmed yet, or is it just leaks? I honestly don't know.
The presence of...
I feel like if they are going off of like memes on like Twitter and such, a leak might as well be for real because it's like people are excited about it.
Oh yeah,
Gandalf
no,
really
I know
sticks
it's
out
real
to
at
me.
this point. I know it's real at this point, but I just didn't know if it was like officially real.
You can't have Gandalf without Tom Bombadil.
Yeah, Tom Bombadil never
Birdo.
made it to any of the movies, which is a shame. I mean, they made 6 of them, if you count the Hobbit movies.
Bordo.
What? Well, what?
This is a practice run.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I was really focused on the...
Morty's in the taunts. You know what? No, what Rick should do is use Morty like Peach uses Toad and Smash.
I am embarrassed because I actually thought we were playing. That's how tired I am.
It's okay.
It's very easy to get caught up in the drama of it.
Maybe we can add Goku to this one.
I did not get why so many people were serious about adding Goku in this Smash. Like,
I have nothing against Goku, but he doesn't fit. Oh no, I overshot that. Sorry.
It's alright. I remember this from 4, that's like, if your friends are like expecting you to stop for them, or if they're expecting you to like, to cater to like, if you can get it so that... Oh no!
Depth
Daisy,
perception's a real bear, huh?
No, I don't
Rosalina, you can
hard.
float. Try jumping a little earlier, Dak. There you go.
Oh,
I'm gonna blame it on the fact I don't...
It is hard, I'm sorry, right
No, it's
now.
okay. The depth perception on this is a little wacky. Oh no!
Oh wait, so why am I doing a
No,
full around?
stop.
Up there. Okay.
Okay. Let's not flub like the last easy jump. There we go. It's the rest of the game.
I'd like to go back to the original GameCube and find that it's...
Yeah, no, it's definitely different. Also, Rosie, you can float. Oh, that would have been good if that was the right one. Oh, it's probably top left or top right. Oh, well, there we go. I doubt this one you have to mash as fast as possible, or if you want to do space it out a little more. Because I know in like Balloon Burst you had to space it out. Yay! It's over.
I think getting full,
that's a tough one.
Full pumps is still the...
I like dungeon duos. I like the more free roaming ones. It is.
Oh,
this is like corporate team building.
Don't apologize, right, fam. It is hard. I wasn't blaming you. I was having trouble too, and I also apologize.
The demand for Fangamer to do spam plush is real. I hope if you like, it's one of those ones where if you squeeze him, he makes horrible dial tone sounds. In that game, you hope there's DLC for Rick Blaine from Castlevania. Casablanca.
I was about to have questions.
Now there's the crossover of the century.
I've actually never seen Casablanca.
I haven't either. My parents are horrified. What do you mean you've never seen? I mean, I never watch movies.
Your parents are horrified? Who else would have shown it to you?
Well, my parents love old movies. Movies in general. My dad's always watching movies, but I don't have the attention span.
They would... Yeah.
I wish I had my...
I want to give a...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I wish I had my voice software open so I could say, now's your chance to be a big plush, but in the right voice. Anyway, carry on.
I just wanted to rant for a little bit about, it's a pet peeve of mine whenever you tell somebody, like, you haven't seen a popular movie and they like shame you for it. They're like, what? How dare you have not seen this movie?
Right?
It's like, you know, not everybody gets around to everything, you know, like... Yeah.
Maybe they just
and it's like when you...
It takes me out of it when people, like, are gear up to shame you, because what I'm used to, which is the better reaction, but also I don't always have time for it, is, oh, we gotta watch that together.
You gotta.
Which is, I might not have seen it for a reason, but at least there's a good intent there.
At least there's it's like reverse gatekeeping. Also, a Castlevania-esque game based on Casablanca would be cool.
I would play it. But I think like, in my experience, if somebody
better at multitasking than I am, Endora. Sorry, Joe.
No, in my personal experience, like if somebody yells at me like, "Why haven't you seen it yet? What's wrong with you?" That makes me not want to see it. Like that like scares me away from it. Like makes me want.
You feel like you want to do a task, but then somebody's like, "You need to do this task right now," and suddenly you're like, "Well, actually, I'm not going to do it."
There needs to be a better reason to see the film other than dogma. It's like, if you can't say like, "Oh, you gotta see that," it's like it's a great fusion of like Western and sci-fi, or like whatever the reason is. If there's a reason, or like, Humphrey Bogart at his peak, I'm telling you, without like a reason, it just sounds like
you gotta sell it.
You're like a film bro who's just like doing what Reddit tells you to watch.
And my brother made fun of me for this. How I am very like I have to be in the mood to watch a specific movie. Like I can't just like spontaneously. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no,
I can't like spontaneously just find a movie and start watching it immediately.
We got this right, fam. Ooh, we get pizza.
It's happening!
It's happening. I had some pizza for supper because I was gonna make stew, but I was too sick to cook. I had to give myself 2 injections today for this new drug I'm on to help treat a skin condition I've got. Well.
Yeah, how are you feeling? Are you okay?
Sounds unpleasant, but I'm happy that you've gotten
I got really lightheaded and nauseous
option.
After the first one, and it's like, I gotta do it again. Because it's the first dose, so you have to do 2. But I only have to do 1 every 2 weeks now. But that was still very unpleasant, and I got really lightheaded and nauseous. But thankfully, I was doing a virtual training session with a nurse, and she walked me through it. My dad brought me a glass of water, so it was okay. Just embarrassing.
Man, you two are really going to town on that pizza.
We haven't eaten like all morning. And Berta, you got the hole for it. That sounds really bad.
She could like vacuum it up. I don't blame you, right, fam. That did look like a delicious pizza. Yeah. I'm not even a big pepperoni fan, but I would eat that.
You gotta give specifics, I think, if you're wrecking something. Like, especially if like you think it's going to appeal to the person you're wrecking it to. Like, mention certain plot points or plot elements without spoiling anything, or characters or whatever that you think they would enjoy. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying it's the only reason I did it, but I did break up with a guy just because he said that on the last date, "Oh, you haven't seen Lost? We're gonna fix that."
Oh no! Yeah, I think you made a good choice.
It's 7 seasons, right? 6 or 7.
It's the tube. Well, now you won't be lost.
It's one thing when it's a 2-hour movie, but when it's like a 7-season show, it's like no, I do not have the patience for something like that. Me personally, you can't just tell me, "Oh yeah, watch 7 seasons of this show." Like, no. I'm sorry. Like you have to give me a reason for it, because I have trouble committing to like a 2-hour movie.
Oh, yeah.
Especially like, I don't know. I watched the first episode and I just sort of got like put off by like, I don't know if this is the sort of mystery where, a good mystery sort of feels like the story makes absolute sense when you see everything going on behind the scenes. That's what I kind of need out of that to stay engaged. I don't go like, "Oh, that's interesting. What could it mean?" if I don't think it's heading towards something. And if anything, history has vindicated me, because J.J. Abrams is notorious for coming up with these mystery box things and not actually having an answer for them.
That's what I've heard. Like, it felt a lot of... I haven't seen Lost, but I've heard that it felt like, especially the last few seasons, were just sort of like they're making it up as they go along, or I've heard it felt really unsatisfying, but I've never seen it. No spoilers in the chat, just in case. In case.
To be fair,
I will say that One Piece is I stayed away from it for so long because of the episode count alone. I wish that they, Funimation or whatever, did a better job breaking it down into, seasons, because it really is I don't know, I feel like I go in and I watch an arc, and it's like The Empire Strikes Back, it's like, that's the self-contained adventure, and I mean, obviously I can't wait, because I podcast about one-fifth of the show.
Oh, that's right. Why don't you plug your podcast, Dak?
Yes, Piece Together. We've been going through a few changes in our personal lives, so we've had a bit of a bumpy update schedule in the last few weeks, but we've been hitting stride again. Yes, Peace, well, yeah, like Peace. There's no wordplay there. I don't know why I'm afraid that there's a homonym that's gonna screw me over on that.
I mean, you do like your wordplay, to be fair.
It's true.
No! Now I just want bloodshed.
That was my fault.
Rip, tear, throttle.
Rip and tear.
Hey.
Your brother once said, imagine being born when One Piece started and dying when One Piece ends. My god.
I think that's gonna be the only way you see all of One Piece at this point.
Yeah, one thing I was going to say, in fairness, a lot of TV and movies are not planned ahead in advance, and sometimes they, Breaking Bad, with the exception of season 2, it was all made up as they went along.
Wow.
You would never know it.
That's like my writing style.
It's true, but it's not a mystery, That's a style
that's
of
true.
writing.
But I don't know if what I'm about to say is a spoiler or not.
Maybe change the names to protect the innocent.
Well, okay.
Your story about Bolt or Bite.
Well, the last season, the very first episode, the first scene of the first episode.
Oh, the fish have spoken.
Is a flash forward a year later, and Walter White is buying a gun, and then the rest of the season is before that, and when they wrote that, they did not know what he would be using that gun for, why he was buying a gun, and they just built up to that later. So they had no plan for it, but it worked out, and it played so well that you wouldn't have noticed.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I mean, that's gotta be. I feel like that's almost like a trust fall in the writers' room. At that point, they're like, we've knocked it out of the park for 4 years now. We can probably get away with taking a gamble on the 5th. Which, again, it shocks me, is it Dan? I forget who the other person is other than Vince Gilligan, because Vince worked on X-Files, I get that, but there's another writer that's written most on most seasons of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, and the only credit he has to his name is the Double Dragon movie.
What?
And to his credit, he has a good sense of humor about it. He says, the nice thing about that movie is if you're watching it and you're not enjoying it, just hang on, it'll be a different movie in 5 minutes.
I completely forgot there was a Double Dragon movie.
I found out later that one of the leads in that movie was the chairman on Iron Chef America, Mark Dacascos, I think his name is.
Oh, that's delightful.
I
assume I haven't seen it.
And
yeah, sorry, my brother's messaging me on Discord. How dare he? It's okay, I got it.
Oh, my headset is weird. It doesn't pick up any sound other than the call, so I couldn't hear that.
Well, Morri's streaming, so that's how everyone else is hearing it. We're immune.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are immune.
You can be getting a Discord message every other 20 seconds, and we'd have no idea.
Oh, my brother is showing me a picture of his Slay the Spire run. He has, I think, also fallen into a hole of Slay the Spire. Lately, I've put like 200 hours into Slay the Spire. Lately, I've been playing Monster Train, which is also good. I think it's more mechanically complex, but...
You've put how much money into Slay the Spire?
No, not money, hours.
Oh, I thought you said dollars.
No!
I thought you said dollars, I'm sorry.
No, I don't do gotcha here. No whaling. Wow. A dueling glove, heck yeah.
Oh, glove slap.
The guy who slaps... Sorry. The guy who shouts a la cuisine, not slaps.
I am the one who slaps.
Nice Simpsons reference,
he is the one,
by the way.
He is the one who... Thank you. I knew you'd get it. He's the one who shouts, a la cuisine! Yeah.
Would you want that job where you just yell, and you have to take a full bite into a green bell pepper? And like it.
And you have to slap people.
That's if they lose. Or you know what? No, that's like half an hour into the competition, he just comes on the floor and starts swinging his arms wildly, and you have to dodge him while you cook. It's like a little mini game.
That sounds dangerous. Like when you're dealing with knives. You got knives. And, like,
you can fight back. On the American one, it's an apple, not a pepper. Oh, terrible. I know they did.
Yeah. Doesn't he look at a? Oh, sorry.
I was just thinking that they did, like, Iron Chef America twice, and the first one was awful, but the second one, hosted by Alton Brown, was better.
Yeah, they did. They tried it out first with William Shatner, I think, was the chairman.
Wait, really?
I think so. Yeah,
Whoa.
I remember that, and that was like years ago. And then it took like a couple years before they restarted it.
I don't want this degree of responsibility. No, not stickers. I'm just trying to move and hit the block already. Like, let me get it over with. No. There we go. It took long enough. They have to ready their party poppers. Who's my... Joe is my biggest competition.
There I am.
Okay, I'm not involved.
Oh, well, I don't even have 20 coins.
Enjoy your 6 coins, Ryfam. Don't say I never do anything for you. Hang on.
I just like imagining like Chance Time as like this little like side like podcast within a podcast, like a munch squat that like happens much to the chagrin of everyone else who's trying to participate.
Hang on a second before I press. Oh, Crazy Cutters, good. In response to the guy who slaps, let me see if I can't drag it into the capture. This is the guy who slaps, who comes onto the floor for the mini game hour.
Yeah, I saw that it was posted, and I clicked that image not knowing what the context was. That is a great picture.
What do you mean,
I
why? Hey, Capotico linked it. I'm just passing on the message. Don't shoot the don't slap the messenger. Hi, Claire. I see you out of the corner of my eye. I dedicate this squid cutout to you. Claire played some Splatoon with me earlier today, and it was very fun. And took my mind off my impending stab self with needles. Oh, this is a handsome squid. Very shaped.
This is a squid game that actually more or less happens in Squid. At least it was in an umbrella.
This really is, similar to Squid Game in more ways.
Come on.
In one.
Because there's a squid, there's a game, and there's a squid. Is
this a squid?
No.
A ghost?
I like saying Capotico. It's fun to say. Capo just feels like if somebody was playing a chord or something, but they didn't play the last note of it. That's what it would feel like if I just called you Capo.
Yeah,
Truman
Andorra,
Capotico.
I was the same way. I thought they were talking about Splatoon all this time for a long time until I watched the show.
Me too. I just saw it trending on Twitter, and I'm like, oh, Splatoon 3 news? Oh, it's Netflix.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sorry. I wasn't sure how to pronounce it. I want to say Capodaco, but I don't know if that's right. So
I thought it was
didn't wanna-
Capodako, but then they said that was not correct. So I took a shot in the dark, and I guessed Capodico, and apparently I was right. Ooh,
Okay, well,
getting your
I'll
money
know that
back.
from now on. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I struggled with your name, and I will remember Capotico from now on.
My name is Morri, so we're aware. I will escort myself out. Yeah.
My name is Joe.
Uh-oh.
Do re mi fa sol la ti Joe.
Oh no. Yeah, well, I don't think Berto is married. I think she just wears that big ring because she likes it.
Yeah, it's like a ring pop kind of ring.
Maybe it is a ring pop. So she never goes hungry. You will also accept Admiral Reginald Alpha Unit Mark 4.37 Turbo Mode with Knuckles.
Okay, I'll remember that as well.
Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
Right, fam, you better not slap me. Okay.
No!
Oh, I'm looking forward. Oh, she's just like stretching, and then out of nowhere, this hand comes from space.
I interpreted it as like, I accept my fate.
We both have 24 coins.
Come on.
Gosh,
Come on.
I know I was all resentful, but I wouldn't mind going.
One coin.
Okay, you just faking
We
us
can go
out.
all out. That's fine.
I mean,
Hi, fam. You can.
I don't think
do
you
it
get to
up
say
if
it. Are you
want.
trying to metagame him, Dak? Literally
It's
throwing
allowed.
hands.
I'm just saying things. I'm allowed to say things.
If you want it, you should have put a ring on it. Berto put a ring on herself because she loves herself.
I can respect that.
Base.
I think Rosalina has the home team advantage here. Then again,
Yeah, I'm not gonna look.
we
good
haven't
if,
seen Sarasaland in a long time. Maybe they relocated.
Maybe it is in space and we just never knew.
We're actually in front of a green screen. The bottom of a swimming pool.
Or they're on wires.
This is the new
I
Superman
mean,
movie.
it could be. I mean, there's precedent for it because Mario 3 is all a stage play.
Mm-mm. And I mean, there's Paper
And
Mario
I may
as
be-
well.
I may be wrong, but I think like that was sort of Miyamoto's philosophy was that like they're all sort of actors. I mean,
I've
they're
heard that
all
too.
like they can. That's why they play different roles, and that's why like Bowser is sometimes a hero, not a hero, but sometimes a friend and sometimes
He's
an
a hero to
enemy.
me.
I mean, I guess he is sometimes a hero in like the Mario RPG.
I love Mario 3. My favorite thing about my favorite thing about it, I think, is Peach going "just kidding" at the end. Which
Oh yeah, yeah.
she doesn't do in Japanese. I saw the ending screen in Japanese a few weeks ago, and she doesn't say
Really?
anything of the sort. I'm like, what? It's the best part. Also, congrats, Dak, for flying through space.
You.
I wonder if anybody was. I wonder if anybody beat Mario 3 and was like really angry when they saw that. Like, what?
How dare you? I'm turning this off.
Because on the NES version, you had to do it all in one shot. I mean, you could do warps, but like if you wanted to play every single level, you had to like sit down in front of the TV and just do it all at once.
That was the old days of gaming. It
So
was
it's
nice
like,
though
it would
that you
take
could
you a few hours.
you could get warp
Oh,
whistles
sorry.
fairly easily if you knew where to look.
Yeah.
Oh, this is not good. Man.
Also, when I was saying that, I was like gesticulating wildly with my arms as if anybody could see
Oh,
me.
I do that while I'm like talking and streaming all the time. It's just
A number of
I
voice
just
calls,
looked
I've
over
just,
and I-
like responded with a shrug like that.
I still have the image of the slappy guy open on my other monitor. Just okay, I'm gonna close
Very,
that.
very good. Yeah, you can't save in Mario 3 in the original. I grew up with the. I mean, I'm slightly too young to have played the NES in its prime, so I grew up with the Super NES.
Yeah,
so I played
used
Mario All Stars.
Me too. That was also. I remember, like, I played Mario All Stars a lot, but it was mostly Mario 3. When I was little, like, I found trying to play, like, the original Mario Bros. Like, the physics are weird in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! Oh, that's right. Goombella's epilogue, The Plot of a Thousand Year Door, was made into a stage show starring Madame Fleury and Dupless. I want another game with, if not Dupless, at least a Duplo Ghost, but maybe Dupless. Super Mario Advance 4 with all, like, the voice clips.
Yeah, the only Mario Advance I played was the first one, which was a remake of Mario 2.
There was a Mario Advance 4?
Just what I needed.
I think that was the Mario 3 one, yeah.
Wasn't that the Mario World one?
No, that was 2, I believe. No, wait. Was it 2 or 3?
I can't remember. I just know it was really hard to find.
I think it was 2, and I think Yoshi's Island was 3. I may be wrong. I'm sorry if I'm wrong.
I didn't own them.
Me neither.
My favorite part about Mario, the first Super Mario Advance, is Toad. It's like, imagine how much you love Toad's Smoker's Cop voice. Now imagine he screams every time you, like, jump or pull out a turnip.
I remember Birdo's voice being very unusual.
Oh, 2 is World, Yoshi's 3. Could move one more space.
She had just like a normal... Like, Birdo had just like a normal person's voice. like she didn't sound like wow or anything. She was like, "This is as far as you go."
Oh, that would not sit well.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, I see what you mean. Sorry. So the first Super Mario Advance was Mario 2. The second one was Mario World. The third one was Yoshi's Island. And the fourth one was Mario 3. Wow, this is a great lineup with names you got there, Nintendo. Also, thank you, Dak.
I wish I had the foresight to use my that precious Bowser heirloom that I'd been gifted. I think that would look great on your mantelpiece, Peach.
Oh, I bet. Oh, do I have 2 spaces left?
I guess you'll have to deal with that dinky little star instead.
Oh, yeah.
Shame.
It's so cheap.
And, yeah, Zarthwomp, I can see why Birdo's voice scared you, because it was just, like, so out of left field, like, you don't expect it.
Don't worry, Dak, I put everything back where I found it.
Thank you.
I mean, that would be like just playing Pac-Man, and all of a sudden, one of the ghosts just sound like Christopher Walken. That's the only thing I can...
Can we get a mod on that, please?
Get a what on that?
A mod. You know. Oh, this one's hard if you're the one, or the 3 people. Like, compared to the original.
Wait.
They gave Pac-Man and the Ghost voices in Pac-Man World 3, and it sucked, I bet. None of them sounded like Christopher Walken, huh? Oh no! Oh no!
I disagree. Hitbox. I disagree!
No, save us, Joe. I don't know if we can make it up in time. Come on, Peach, like, dig your heels in. Maybe if I can, like, throw you up there. No. Oof.
Excuse me. I'm sorry to cough directly into the microphone.
Think of the most generic voice acting that's like that. It's like, it's not even good to make fun of, like, say, Resident Evil. It's just boring. Your younger brother has many fond memories of Pac-Man Party, the definitive original party game within the Pac-Man universe. Oh, that's such a big selling point. When I think Pac-Man, I definitely think Party.
Oh, dang it.
Oh! Oh!
I'm sorry, everybody.
Why are you sorry? That's good for Dad.
No, right. Well, I'm sorry to myself and
I
Ryfam.
still say oh, just
Morri.
because. I mean, I guess that's what that space is there for, but oh, that just stings.
I mean, maybe
Yeah,
Ryfam
this
will
board
use a
is-
golden pipe and get the heck out of here.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
I
don't do
see.
that though.
No, the
I
Toadette
see
doesn't
how it
leave
is.
after you get a star. She stays there.
Are you sure about
Yes.
I landed on the funny space. Yes. I swear I'm not a smoker. That's not why I keep coughing.
No, only Toad. Oh, hey, Cosmo's coming over to see me.
Oh, hi, Cosmo.
Did you guys hear that?
My brother has a cat named Cosmo, too.
I've seen pictures of said other Cosmo. They're very cute. Oh, he's
Yes.
going into the nearby
Yes.
bathroom. Sometimes he likes going on the counter there and staring. Oh, okay. Well, I was
Look at that
admiring
Yoshi
my
riding a
cat.
cantaloupe.
Yoshi seems like afraid
A little bit,
about the
yeah.
balance situation.
Sorry, I'm trying to get my cat to come over. Hi. Well, I guess I don't want him to get so cozy he hops on the desk. Nope, there he goes. He bonked into my hand a few times.
Oh,
He's very polite when I'm streaming, which is nice. Usually, if my dad goes to work in the office here, Cosmo will hop on the desk and sit on things and get in the way. I mean, granted, I was trying to play Persona 4 the other day, and I was in the middle of like an important story moment, and Cosmo decided I'm gonna hop on the desk and stand in front of the monitor and whap you in the face with my tail. Good, so immersive.
Yeah, that's how cats. That's how cats be.
That's how they
I've
do.
had more than a few Zoom calls with people where they're telling me something that's clearly very important and I don't want to interrupt them, but their cat is just hopped up onto a shelf with a lot of fragile-looking things,
Oh.
and I just, you do have your own camera enabled, right? You can see what's happening behind you.
Full power, full power. Yes. Oh.
I always get this one wrong because I'm always thinking about like Mario Golf and like other golf games where you press the button and then you wait for the power to go up, and it's not like that.
Like,
Oh, good.
literally, this is the only golf game that operates like this that I've ever played.
Yeah, same.
Oh, I thought you were gonna do it.
It's like I'm having two ham.
Oh,
Oh,
it was
that
pretty
was
good
a
though.
little-
It was close.
You were close. Sorry, I'm thinking about Pokemon Snap.
Oh yeah. As I mentioned the Oaks theme earlier. I mean, before we started streaming, I mentioned that song. I don't know why it like first popped into my head, but it did.
I haven't played new Pokemon Snap, but I'd like to. Maybe I'll stream it someday if I ever get a copy. It looks very cute. But I
That
mean,
was
Yeah.
not the answer.
I enjoyed it. I didn't finish it, but it's definitely more Pokemon Snap. So, which is a good thing.
I like the original.
Yeah,
but-
me too. It amazes me that it took them like
Wait, did I
what,
win? Oh no, I didn't.
20-something years
Ryfam is too
to-
good.
to make it.
Nice
good
work,
job,
Ryfam.
Ryfam.
Daisy's victory pose is very cute.
Birdo looks like she's sleeping.
Are there kiosks and Blockbuster
It
still?
looks like she's just swallowing those coins. Like,
Well,
duh.
where else is she
Just-
gonna keep them?
There is one Blockbuster left. I doubt it has a Pokemon Snap kiosk, but I wish it
That would
did.
be wild if it did. Blockbuster was where I first played Sonic Adventure, because the one near where I lived, for a while had like this really fancy setup with a huge screen TV and a leather couch. And they had a Dreamcast hooked up to it for a while, and I got to try a little Sonic Adventure, which is cool. Oh,
That's cool. I first saw Sonic Adventure at a Toys R Us, actually.
I got to rent a Dreamcast before it dropped and play Sonic Adventure.
Whoa.
Before.
Whoa.
I mean, Hollywood Video was just doing this. It was something anyone could do. It was
Cool.
just.
That's cool.
Every
Yeah.
single
Like,
person in the
wonder-
world has to go to the last Blockbuster to print their pictures. I feel like there's like a novel in there somewhere.
I know there's a documentary about the last Blockbuster. I think it's hosted by Kevin Smith. I haven't seen it.
Do you remember what it's called?
I think it's called The Last Blockbuster. Yeah.
It's in a place that has really bad broadband, so streaming is really bad. Oh, I wasn't sure when you said Alaska if that was factually correct or if you were having a laugh. Because that would be a really long way to go to the last remaining Pokemon Snap kiosk to print out your pictures. Oh, I don't have the boo. I have to buy more stickers. I feel like it spoils the surprise if people can see what stickers I'm inputting. I can just press buttons and see what I get.
I say bad luck. It's 8 coins. It's slightly more than a red space in the last 5 turns.
You played Soul Calibur 2 and Custom Robo on GameCube fixtures and preset in Toys R Us stores. Oh, I'm surprised they had Custom Robo. I feel like, I don't know if that would sell well. Actually, well, the first time I played Space Channel 5 was at a Toys R Us on a Dreamcast, and there wasn't any sound. So I couldn't figure out what was going on in the game. Well, so I just...
Way to sell it, Toys R Us!
I just saw, like, the beginning of the first stage, where, you know, this reporter lady is doing this fancy strut, and, like, I don't know what's going on. I can't press buttons and make things happen. Am I stuck in a cutscene?
Dawn has never gone into a Toys R Us or Blockbuster.
Whoa. Yeah, it was a great way to play Space Channel 5. I think I finally played it years later on the PS2, and I loved it. Just exactly my stuff. I love weird games, and rhythm games, and weird rhythm games. Oh boy, how many hours do I have in Crypt of the Necrodancer? It's a lot.
Space Channel 5 is so charming and 60s and, like... Oh, the music's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. It was Tetsuya Mizuguchi, right? Aww.
I've got...
One square.
And where's my Space Channel 6?
If Space Channel 5 is so great, why is there no Space Channel 6?
Space Channel 5. Kenichi Tokoi was a lot of here. Now Taya is on a lot of them too. It looks like those two were the main contributors.
I thought it was Tetsuya Mizuguchi, like the guy who did Rez and Luminous. And maybe I'm off my rocker.
I'm not seeing that name on even the
I guess I'm just
one.
losing my mind.
Mariko Nanba did a lot on the second one. That's a name I don't see on the first soundtrack.
Oh, not
it's
as a
like
composer, I should say. I think the director.
Oh! That I don't know.
A game where you dance to shoot
Channel
aliens
4.
and save Michael Jackson. Yes. That is an accurate summary.
It is kind of weird when a game has a number in the title but it's like the first in that series, and it's not like Space Channel 5 is not a series. Well, it is, but I mean, when the first one came out, it was not a series.
Vib Ribbon
what was
is
the name you
cute.
said?
Tetsuya Mizuguchi.
Yeah, designer.
Okay, I'm not off
Takashi
my
Yuda
rocker.
was the director, though.
Hello, Kelly's dogs. Well, yeah, Vib Ribbon's cute. I haven't played it, though. I've seen footage of it played. I don't like the shriek she makes when you donk up, though. It's really jarring. Why can't it be like Parappa, where it's just oops, oops?
Oops. Uh-oh. Yeah. I love...
no!
This is where you watched your parents die, Parappa.
I've seen some really high-quality versions of that.
The tutorial song in Vib Ribbon is cute. Abanakata. Oh, here we go. All in. Well, at least for one of you.
Up for revenge. Fear.
I feel like I would get bored of Vib Ribbon fast, though. It's cool that you can put in your own CDs. Oh boy, the physics in this one are very different than how it was implemented in Mario Party. And I remember seeing them playlist on the Nintendo Treehouse, and they were struggling to land on the final platform. And I thought it can't be that hard. Like, I was really good at this one in Mario Party 3. And then I played this version of it, and suddenly I understood. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, this is one of the ones in this game that is, like, weirdly difficult.
Well, I think the physics are a little more... like, they're a little more realistic, maybe? Like, it used to be in Mario Party 3.
Yeah, I don't know if difficult is the right word. It was, like,
tricky?
finicky.
Finicky. I mean, looks good, though. This is a close one.
Oh, no!
Oh, you're neck and neck. I love this. Oh, ooh, nice stack. Dang, that was really close. Cheers to you both for an engaging performance. Look at Daisy.
Toad has always been rich. Toad has been pulling the strings on the Mushroom Kingdom all this time.
Yeah, you've said before, Morri, that the characters are so expressive in this one. It's really nice.
Yeah, I know the whole joke about Mario never being invited to his own parties, but, like, if you have Mario engage in a duel mini game, the face he makes is so weirdly intense. Like, he's got the downturned eyebrows and everything that I kind of want to find some way to show it off, but I'd have to play as Mario. Toad is loaded. Toaded is loaded. Toad filing off a bit of each coin. Well,
he may be rich, knives out of him.
But we know
I'm not going to be an agent. Oh, I am going to be an agent. I forgot to use my item. Whoops.
Whoops. This is the last turn.
And I did Agent of Chaos, it turns out. Whoops.
I feel bad for Toadette.
World's sharpest knife made out of coin.
Everyone had a very relaxing time on Yoshi's Island except Toadette.
I didn't question the use of Toadette. I don't have enough to steal a star. Boo. Oh, that's right. Yosh coin is out. Toad coin is in. There is a tiny, tiny, horrible part of me. I know it's very tiny, that wanted to steal from Joe.
Yeah, I was going to say, I hope you don't. What would you even be?
I don't know. That's like... the thing. There's no rationale for it. Just this little part of my brain was like, wouldn't it be hilarious? A Toadbucks is very stable.
It's like Rocky 5, like, touch me and I'll sue. Sue me for what? I like to make references nobody's going to get to me.
Oh, baby. No, not one.
Wait, no. Can't end on a one coin wager.
I didn't mean to press
That's
A there.
Not...
There we go. Oh, you watched Rocky 5 a few months ago.
Oh.
Or Rocky V, as the cool kids call it.
Rocky V. Rocky V plus Rocky 2 equals Rocky 7. Adrian's Revenge! I think Morri will get that.
Oh, here we go. I feel like I've already played this one like 3 times, though. I want some variety in my duel.
Yes, Tommy the Machine Gun was... Yeah, that's who Rocky fought in the street fight.
No, they actually fought like Tommy the Pinball Wizard from the Who song. There's a relevant reference.
So timely.
There's a lemon behind that rock.
It's really easy to move past stuff.
Yeah, this is another one where the controls are really
so?
weird. Yeah, it is Tempest, isn't it? Dang, nice.
I like Rosie's, like, whatever face. Peach is so into this, it's very cute. Her pose, actually, with, like, the excited hands in front of her, reminds me of a Danganronpa character, but I can't think of which one. Just, I feel like one of them does that pose, that excited... Is it Sayaka? I don't remember.
It wasn't even necessary. There's no one was gonna be able to get the star. They just traumatized poor Toadette for nothing. For nothing.
That fish needs a job. Here we go. The fish was flailing into the horizon.
No warning. Just like sword out. You're gone.
It's a sword out kind of night.
That scared me.
Oh no! Bye, Dak.
I thought both that was an option. She's still waving.
She's still going.
Team Rocket's blasting off again.
Team Rosie's blasting off again. Oof. He's making us sweat it out.
Online.
Just gets funnier the longer the pauses are. Oh no!
Uh-oh. Bye, Morri.
Goodbye, Joe. Got him. Sword out online, exactly. Thank God he freed me.
Oh.
This is intense, I love it. Oh, you were too slow! Oh, he's fussy.
Wow.
Well done, Joe.
Thank you. I like the way the water looks.
Well done, Ryfam, too. That was good.
Yeah, good job.
Indeed.
Whew. Man, I'm tired. I'm sorry.
No,
Sorry
that's
to
okay.
say
Me
that.
too. I feel like I've had a long day.
The rich bonus.
The bougie
Definitely
bonus.
doesn't go to me.
Yay!
Who do you think is richer, Peach or Rosalina?
I can't imagine Rosalina dabbles in our mortal currency.
No, she doesn't seem like she needs currency.
Bits.
That wasn't me commentating with the sticker. I just dropped my controller onto my lap.
Rosalina radicalized. That's right. Oh! Oh, they wouldn't let you say got him 3 times. I felt it. I felt the triple got him. What is with this only 2 bonus stars nonsense? Maybe it's because we only played 10 turns. Oh. Happy birthday to me!
Happy birthday. You won on the non-birthday board, but you still won.
My prize is all the watermelon I could eat.
Oh, look at Peach.
Looks like Birdo's flirting with that.
Oh, I was gonna say the same thing. Hey, baby, you come here often? I wouldn't mind you crushing down on me if you know what I'm saying.
That's a good Birdo voice.
What did I... Oh, I gave her a voice like this when I was streaming Origami King. Come on, Mario, it's just a stage kiss. Get it together.
Daisy looks like she's very inquisitive about something. Like
she's looking at the fish.
Oh yeah,
She's playing Pooh Sticks. There's a deep cut for you.
She's checking in on Wario, who's been flattened underneath the thwomp.
Yeah, that's
okay,
that's
buddy?
what I was thinking.
You all right?
No, it's Mario because Mario's not invited to his own party.
He tried. This is the security system. Oh, if I switch them to classic, I see. I wondered if it was giving you more based on how many turns the game is. Now I've got Thwomp Madness and you're the only cure. That was the Birdo voice.
Oh
Daisy. Daisy, you gotta press a button.
Right, fam.
Daisy's checking out the assets on that Thwomp. Oh, hey, baby, I like your ray tracing.
You okay, Dak?
I'm fine.
I'm not okay.
Yeah, that is impressive, Morri.
I remember most of my voices. Like, I don't know, I could do all the Bug Fables characters. I'd probably do, I mean, there's some I've done so often, like Bowser.
I'm actually worried that if like the Jenny, it gets the Jenny LeCoultre treatment, like
that
they
was
were able
really
to go in
close.
and retroactively put voices in, if they don't match Morri's enough, it's not gonna jive with me. I'm legitimately afraid.
Somebody like hire me to voice.
When I played, oh sorry.
Oh no, that's okay.
When I played Origami King last year, I was reading all the dialogue in Morri's voice, and this was like fresh after she streamed one of the Mario and Luigi games. I think.
Oh, I'm
so,
touched.
Yeah, seriously, like all the dialogue was in your voices.
Gosh, I'm sorry you were cursed that way.
No, I enjoy it. Well, thank you for letting us join you, Morri.
Thank you very much to Dak and Joe and for Ryfam for joining me for my little early birthday party. It means a lot. Again,
happy early birthday.
Thank you. Again, I'm a small streamer,
birthday.
so this means so much to me. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. I'm going to catch you on Friday for more Sonic Adventure 2. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, have a wonderful evening. I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.